We've had some very good calls today with Russia and with Ukraine. They've agreed for a ceasefire if we can get it with Russia, and it's not easy. It's a tough one, but I think we're doing it. And as the Secretary General said yesterday of NATO, a terrific guy, he said without Trump, we wouldn't be talking about it. It would just go on for years, and millions of people have been killed, but millions more people would be killed. And he said it was a great honor. Without me, it would just keep going on. We're looking for the ceasefire now with Russia, and we've had some very good talks about it. We've had some very good responses. And I can tell you that there was a case where there would have been no war if I were president, and it's just 100% would not have happened, would never have happened. I used to speak to President Putin a lot about it. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. I won't tell you what the consequence was. I won't tell you what but if he believed even 5% of what I said, then he would say, I'm not going to do it. And I think he did. But we had a good relationship, and we had a professional relationship, and his respect for this country. And I think we've had some very good results. So, you know, I haven't been able to say that to anybody else. I haven't wanted to say it until just before I came here. I got some pretty good news. So, but we have to see what happens. It's still a long way to go. The fighting is unbelievable. Russia has a large group of Ukrainian soldiers, as we speak, surrounded and in grave danger. They've been able to surround them. They're in grave danger. Biden should have never let this war happen. First of all, you don't want to pick on somebody that's a lot larger than you, even with the money. There's a lot of money that we gave them and a lot of equipment. We make the best military equipment in the world, but even with all of that, it's unbelievable. Right now, you have a lot of Ukrainian soldiers that are encircled and in grave danger, and I've asked them not to kill those soldiers, please, not to kill those soldiers. We don't want them killed. It's such a shame to see what's...
Trump is back. How does it change the world? Donald Trump is back in the White House. His slogan, America First, is no longer just a campaign promise. It's now shaping global geopolitics. Will his leadership make America stronger, or will it make the world a more dangerous place? To understand what's happening, let's look at history. World leaders who reshaped the global order have existed before. Theodore Roosevelt built America's power through strength. Winston Churchill understood that diplomacy without military force is just empty words. Neville Chamberlain tried to maintain peace by appeasing aggressors, but it only led to disaster. Now Trump is back on the global stage, and his approach seems like a mix of all three. Global geopolitics. Who's in charge now? Trump wasted no time shaking up international alliances. He cut NATO funding, issued ultimatums to allies, and even hinted at a possible U.S. withdrawal from the alliance. The world reacted immediately. China is expanding its influence in Asia, showing military strength in the Taiwan Strait. Russia sees an opportunity to test the West's unity and push its agenda forward. The Middle East is once again on edge. Trump has escalated tensions with Iran while simultaneously avoiding direct involvement in regional conflicts. We're witnessing a return to 19th-century-style power politics, where every nation looks out for itself first. Europe. Every man for himself, or a new order? Trump did what European leaders feared. He forced them to take responsibility for their own security. France and Germany are discussing the creation of a European army, but without a clear strategy, it remains just talk. The situation resembles the Treaty of Westphalia in 1648, which left Europe divided into independent states, each pursuing its own interests. If the EU fails to unite, the continent will become weaker and more vulnerable. America, back to isolationism. Trump is reinforcing economic protectionism, restricting immigration, and cutting funding for international programs. U.S. businesses may benefit in the short term, but the global economy could suffer severe consequences. At the same time, America is more divided than ever. Political protests are intensifying. Legal battles against opposition figures are becoming routine. Social polarization is reaching levels not seen since the Civil War of the 1860s. The U.S. isn't just withdrawing from the world, it's facing a political storm at home. Ukraine, a new reality without blank checks. Trump has already begun re-evaluating U.S. aid to Ukraine. Funding has been reduced. Weapons deliveries are slowing down. Pressure for negotiations with Russia is increasing. This situation is reminiscent of 1938, when Western nations handed over the Sudetenland to Hitler in hopes of avoiding war. But Ukraine is not Czechoslovakia. Kyiv is already adapting, strengthening military cooperation with Europe, expanding domestic arms production, building new partnerships beyond the U.S. Trump's return presents a challenge for Ukraine, but also an opportunity for greater independence and self-reliance. What's next? The world has already changed. The balance of power has been disrupted. Europe must now take charge of its own defense. Ukraine faces new obstacles, but is finding ways to adapt. This is a test for everyone, and a chance to prove resilience. What do you think will happen next? Share your thoughts in the comments.